and can't get in trouble. It's elementary. Every tyranny ends up falling, though, because the elites and their minions just start stealing at every level, and the elite will never go after their own minions because, you know, that would be, you know, bad for morale, and so everybody just starts stealing, and then everything falls apart. And I was reading the Black's Law definition of martial law. Typically, the imposition of martial law accompanies curfews. Those are going in everywhere. The suspension of civil law, civil rights, everywhere it's happening. No protest, arrest you for filming police. Habeas corpus, they're getting rid of that, NDAA. And the application or extension of military law or military justice to civilians. The police act like military now. Civilians defying martial law may be subjected to military tribunal. You don't even get a military tribunal under NDAA. They just kill you. It's beyond even martial law. It's just total mafia, serial killer government. I mean, folks, they grow the opium in front of everyone on the news now because the troops are going, I won't do this. I'm going to tell people, oh, really? Watch this. They put the troops grow the opium. Move along. I want to read you this Cicero quote, and we're going to come back and take calls from police and military only, please. A nation can survive its fools and even the ambitious, but it cannot survive treason from within. An enemy at the gates is less formidable, for he is known and carries his banner openly. But the traitor moves amongst those within the gates freely. His sly whispers, rustling through all the alleys, heard in the very halls of the government itself. For the traitor appears not a traitor. He speaks in the accents familiar to his victims, and he wears their face and their arguments. He appears to the baseness that lies deep in the hearts of all men. He rots the soul of the nation, by design, I would add. He works secretly and unknown in the night, under national security, to undermine the pillars of the city. He infects the body politic so that it can no longer resist. A murderer is less to fear. The traitor is the plague. Marcus Tullius Cicero, ancient Roman lawyer, writer, scholar, orator, and member of the Senate. Statesman. 106 BC to 43 BC. Resisted Caesar. Was killed by one that came after Caesar. Let it be known that this was to come to pass as this nation went into bondage. America, for all intents and purposes, is dead, has been conquered, is gone. But countries are not like people who die but once. Countries are ideas, and we could rise from the ashes like the mythical phoenix anytime we wanted to. But we have to admit that we have an illegitimate criminal group running the nation.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
A little over a year ago, I began to do a lot of research into why, even if I had a pretty good-sized meal, that I was still starving. And my research led me to a well-known fact that most of the soils that we grow our crops on here in the United States and across the industrialized world are almost completely depleted of almost all of the key minerals and trace elements that our bodies need to rebuild themselves, fight off cancer, and be healthy. I then searched out the best vitamin and mineral company out there and discovered Youngevity. The Youngevity products are designed to give you the real nutrition you need, and once you've got that, you don't have to eat as much to be satisfied. I've lost 37 pounds in 2 months, simply getting the vitamins and minerals I need. Check it out for yourself. It's incredible. Go to InfoWarsTeam.com today and order your first canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine Complete Multivitamin Mineral Complex Dietary Supplement. That's InfoWarsTeam.com. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Hi folks, this is Alex Jones. I'm looking for people that have the wisdom to spot savings, opportunity, and recognize risk. Saving means to make money. The Cal-Ben Pure Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated and twice as good as what you're using now. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils that contain no useless dyes, perfumes, deodorants, or antibacterials. Your risk is the hundreds of hazardous toxic detergents that give you rashes, itching sores, and deteriorating clothing called lint. If you want something better, if you want something you've never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. Getting a free catalog is easy by calling 800-340-7091 or see Cal-Ben on the web at 5starsoap.com. Take charge of your health now by calling 800-340-7091 or see Cal-Ben on the web at 5starsoap.com. If you just joined us, our big top headline at Infowars.com states Obama executive order paves the way for nationalization of the economy. And of course, as you know, I'm the individual more than anybody that's warned of military takeover of the United States through foreign banks. I told you Europe would be collapsed through derivatives fraud 12, 13 years ago. I've broken down exactly how they would do it, what it would look like, how they would roll it out, because it's in their documents. Now, all the different news outlets that are analyzing this executive order are stating that, oh, yeah, Obama says he can take over all industry, work brigades, oh, this is terrible. What folks haven't done is actually gone and looked at all the accompanying executive orders and U.S. Code and COG that this mentions, because that's where you really find everything. National draft for military, work brigades, everything. Now, does it mean they're going to ever implement all of this? No, but they're trying to. And this is a group who's been caught shipping guns into Mexico to blame it on their political enemies. I mean, that's diabolical. Imagine what else they're up to. Now, I want to hear from active duty military and police, and I'll go to you quickly. You can make your point, and I'll move to the next person about this. Because the reason we're covering it today, after probably talking about this, I don't know, more than 1,000 times in the last 17 years on air, is because now it's all starting to move quicker. It's on the same trajectory, but accelerating, and people are finally getting it. But this is bipartisan. This goes back to Eisenhower. Again, under nuclear attack, they put this in place. This is not for nuclear attack. Obama's changing it to say any disaster, any emergency, repeating what Bush did. But he's moving to activate it. And remember, Obama announced we needed a domestic security force just as big, just as strong. Remember that quote? In fact, guys, later I'm going to play the brainwashing clip by the Attorney General one more time. Brainwash folks, against the Second Amendment. Tell people to call and report guns, even if they're illegal. I want to play that clip again, but then we've got it in the computer, but it's Obama calls for National Security Force, and we'll pull that up. But I want to give the number out for police and military, because police and military call and they go, yeah, we know we're being trained for this, but it's your job as a citizen to stop it, or it's Congress's job. Yeah, I know that. But historically, it's the police and military saying no in East Germany or in Romania or in Czechoslovakia or in so many other areas that ends up stopping this? I mean, I'm asking you, here's my question. Is there any order you won't follow? I mean, do you realize the Bill of Rights, Constitution, that's why we love America and hang flags outside our doors? That's why we appreciate the military. When the military becomes an instrument to overthrow that, it becomes an anathema. I'm not saying the German military was bad pre-Hitler. Most of them under Hitler didn't even agree with him, but they followed orders. You've got to say no. I mean, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Are you concerned when they put out an executive order and say, we can suspend Congress, the president runs things under the Department of Defense, we'll have 10 governors that run the country? Toll-free number, 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. But first, I want to play the Attorney General clip one more time. This is from 1995, 17 years ago, when he was Deputy Attorney General. And the memos, there have been lawsuits, FOIAs, they've come out where he's saying, we got to cover up OKC. This is our #1 priority. What'd you want to cover up, buddy boy? We know. You ran another false flag, didn't you? Shipping the guns into Mexico. Blaming it on the Second Amendment. I mean, I'm here risking my life to expose these criminals. None of us are safe. I'm not going to be a coward and sit here and hold back what I say. They've got to be brought to justice. But how do you bring the UN to justice for war crimes when they're in charge of that? How do you bring the Attorney General to justice for Fast and Furious when he's in charge of justice? That's what tyranny is, when the bad guys get the high ground. And again, why are they trying to thaw out all these martial law provisions right now and add cherries on top that were never there of where they can disappear people? Because they want to be able to tell the mercs, look, you got a law, start killing. Make it look like a heart attack. We don't want his body ever found. Make it look like a carjacking. Where are the men? Let's go ahead and go to the Attorney General. Here it is.
We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way. We also want to have a hotline that we will set up and have the number of that hotline that we just go out there, and that would be something that people would have emblazoned in their minds so that when they see a gun or become familiar about the facts of a gun crime, they would call that hotline and pass that information.
Okay, so there you go. And we're going to play the clip of Obama talking about his national domestic security force. On record, your preachers, executives, even over small companies, they're even giving them license to kill. That came out 5 years ago about InfraGard, where they've got executives ready to take phone calls on people to kill that work for them. You bet the president's saying he can kill whoever he wants. They've got wannabe hitmen everywhere. These criminals are so out of control, they're trying to hire local executives and giving them license to kill. 007 type behavior. See, notice they never give that to the police and military because you're actually professional and trained. They created TSA. They create a brown shirt. They create these goon forces who they can later flush down the toilet when they're done with them. All right, I want to go to your phone calls. Brian in Ohio is a police officer. Lou in Ohio, just active 2 months ago. Eric in Texas, a police officer. Blaze, Alaska, airborne infantry. Let's go to Brian in Ohio. We'll go to them as they came in. Listening in Ohio, police officer. So, what do you think about all the stuff that's going on?
Well, you know, first of all, I'll say I'm a big fan. I just kind of opened my eyes, woke up about 2 or 3 years ago, and listen to you. Try to listen to you every day, especially when I'm working out or something like that. But, you know, as far as the